Durbin states he will not vote to confirm Kash Patel. Well, of course, that's all you can expect from him.
His book, start there.
Oh my god.
His playbook. We all have a copy of it.
Fuck. What is up with politicians and them writing books on their, right, on the shit they see on a day-to-day basis and then selling it to people? I hate that shit. It's so shady.
We know what his agenda is. It's very clear.
Are there any circumstances where you could vote for him if he answers some questions satisfactorily?
I doubt it.
Your reputation is already known to everyone.
I've investigated this gentleman. I've read this book twice, which is cruel and unusual, but I've gone through it twice. So I understand what makes him tick. He should not be head of the FBI.
He should not be head of the FBI. I wonder how he would rate his personal candidacy. The dude didn't even do anything. He just wants to keep his job. Right? Look how old he is. You think he wants to fucking do anything? No, he just wants to sit there and be lazy. You see the fucking bags under his eyes?
Oh, hell no!
The moment your career collapsed on TV. Oh, is this the... That's not AOC.
This dude is probably one of the most unintelligent billionaires I have ever met.
Oh, okay. We're just gonna go there. Just not gonna touch on the fact that he has Tesla and fucking just SpaceX? Okay. Alright. Not only that, but he just employed some very smart people for Doge. Some very young, bright people, it looks like.
Or seen, or witnessed. Which, you know, you can probably even glean that from watching these people on TV. Anyways, all of that is to say, is that they don't do their homework. Clearly,
They don't?
like, they're putting 19-year-olds in at the Treasury. This dude...
I mean, from the, what? I read a small synopsis on them, and they seem to be pretty smart people. I don't know what you're talking about. I think one of them was into some research of like the Dead Sea Scrolls, right? Deciphering some of that stuff.
Dude is not smart.
And he made some big breakthroughs with what, AI imaging or some shit like that. That's kind of like what I'm doing with one of my projects.
And the danger in the lack of intelligence and the lack of expertise.
I haven't. I still need to look through the fucking project. I kind of need to look through it. Talking about what nonsense.
Elon has.
What are you done in all this
time? Is one of the most morally vacant, but also just...
What are you even on, lady? I mean, don't get me wrong. Yes, he has some personal relationship issues with the women he dates and who he makes babies with. Especially him with getting with Amber Heard. That was pretty fucking bad. Oh. I mean, then again, look, Elon Musk is a Democrat. He lived in California at one point. Right.
He's knowledgeable about these systems that we really know of.
Do you really know of your own systems? Or do you just say you know of them because you're just funneling money and shit through them.
But the point is that what that means is that they're going to hit a button inevitably. They are going to hit a button and things can go silent.
I'm surprised Biden didn't hit the fucking button. Holy shit, man. Well, I mean, he kind of hit the button, right? He kind of fucking, he like offloaded a bunch of problems onto Trump before he left. That's what he did. He literally offloaded a bunch of problems before he left. Fucking bastard. Did nothing for fucking sat on his hands for 4 years and did nothing. Oof. Oof. Fucking oof. Let's see what we got here.
So it looks like today we're going to do a quick round of community notes violating people. This time the target is a very interesting one. YouTube. Through their official YouTube creators page, they made this tee-hee ha-ha funny, very poor taste joke for reasons I'll explain in just a second, where they said this: whispered during a voiceover and realized we may have just started an ASMR channel by accident? Oops. And as the note points out here, YouTube has a long history messing with ASMR channels and videos, removing them due to supposed sexual content and automatically denying the appeals.
Some of them
and
are,
as someone who has observed this happen over and over again, especially with VTubers who do ASMR as well, yeah, this is a very factual statement. They have sniped endless channels over this sort of stuff. They've made it very clear they want to get rid of ASMR off of the platform, or at least try to shadow ban it or suppress it down. And again, with anything else, I know there's plenty of people watching this video who don't care about ASMR, and that's totally fine. But just like many things that I don't like, just because you don't like something doesn't mean it's okay for it to be censored and banned. If you support free speech and you don't like censorship, then you shouldn't allow unique instances where it's okay because you don't like the thing or don't care about the thing that's being censored. Now, of course, not every person
I don't like
who's been
you,
banned
Rev.
and claims they were falsely
You're
banned is
sus.
really telling the truth. There's some people who made very sexual content onto YouTube, and the guidelines were
Just look
actually
at you.
properly enforced. But unfortunately,
you got the
they've gone way
anime,
beyond just that. I
anime
mean,
girl
people making
going,
any sort of a
girl
sound
going
that
on
might
with the
trick
fucking
the AI over at
Christian
YouTube, and all of a
cross there.
sudden, boom, you're gone.
You're
You're
looking
banned.
sus there.
And then the appeals, just like
Looking a
anything
little
else,
sus.
whether it's with ASMR channels or any channels for that matter, when you make an appeal for anything, whether it's getting like a community guidelines violation or your channel got demonetized or your whole channel got taken away, it's a bot decision every single time. You get an instant rejection. No one actually looked at it. And the only way you have a slight chance of getting your stuff back is to go to Twitter and beg one of their support
go to Twitter and
staff
beg.
accounts. And
Get on your
hopefully you
hands
get a
and
few
knees and
thousand
suck
likes
it.
and enough anger from people and public outrage. Maybe they'll look at it again. But this is a very embarrassing look for YouTube and YouTube creators here because it's just tone deaf.
I mean, YouTube, right? All these content creating platforms, they all hate content creators. Even though that's how they fucking made their business. So, what can you do? You just try to, you keep trying to game the system, and the system keeps gaming you. Let us do... Let's do Mr. Hirohei. Or Hirohai. Hollywood is very upset with anime fans. Uh-oh. Here we go. Is the Hollywood, people trying to ban anime from everything? I think it was I swear to God, I think Hollywood is, like, asking, like, the payment processors to, like, do shit to... Then again, Right, a lot of these companies fucking hate anime for some reason.
It's very common for people that use streaming services to take a number of
Yeah,
issues
streaming
with those services. For example,
services,
the increasing costs.
any form of media that has anime in it. Fucking some of these people just despise it for some reason.
Catalogs that they might not find sufficient, incessant buffering, you know, things like that. More specifically with the anime, Crunchyroll itself has a terrible reputation for various reasons, and so Crunchyroll is pretty overall disliked in the anime community. This is all to say that a lot of people turn to the high seas to watch their favorite shows. And funny enough, many people find the results of such journeys to end up with better quality, better catalogs, and of course, zero costs. Now, over the last number of years, various corpos have been taking aim at these piracy websites more and more, with a number of them being taken offline. However, they tend to...
Oh yeah, I guess they're trying to get, like... I guess they're trying to make sure that, like, whoever has, like, the monopoly on the streaming services get all the, traction, right?
come right back soon enough. Enter H.R. 791, the Foreign Anti-Digital Piracy Act. This is a new act being proposed by U.S. lawmakers in collaboration with various corporations like Netflix, Disney, Sony, and even a number of unions. For example, SAG-AFTRA, the Authors Guild, and the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees. The proposal would allow copyright holders to petition a U.S. court in order to get the court to issue a blocking order, which would force ISPs to block the specified foreign piracy website. This may cause more people to turn to VPN services. However, others worry that down the road, not in this proposal.
Oh yeah, be careful with VPN services. Like I said, VPN services are not a end-all be-all. Yeah, they do have security risks too.
Years from now or something, that the government and the corpos may eventually also come for your VPNs. Such actions, of course, not simply being the result of like going after piracy, but rather a larger scope act of censorship in going after internet freedom. Now, going specifically back to the Foreign Anti-Digital Piracy Act, or FADPA, this thing was introduced by Rep. Zoe Lofgren, a California Democrat, on January 29, 2025. And there's a number of things that would
if it's a Democrat who's doing any bills on the internet stuff, just know that they're trying to take away your rights. Okay?
to occur before this thing potentially passes or doesn't.
I mean, even the Republicans do that shit sometimes too.
All the way up to presidential
so you
action.
just gotta
the point being,
be careful.
We probably won't know the ultimate fate of this proposal anytime soon. And additional variables, for example, if there's unanimous support for this proposal, can greatly affect the time frame we're looking at. So let me know what you think about this escalation and their so-called war against piracy, and how instead of going after the piracy websites directly, they're now essentially attempting to leverage ISPs to facilitate their attacks. As always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed my coverage, and if you did, please consider liking and or subscribing. Appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one.
Hollywood is just putting pressure on the payment processing motherfuckers, right, and banking system to fuck with people. Yikes. Wait, what do you... OnlyFans bans videos of creator with... No way, they did? Oh, shit. No shot, they did? Holy fuck. Well, what the big guys do? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and also piracy is always... Yeah, exactly. Make a better service. Well, I mean... It's piracy. You're already fighting a losing battle. And most people will be happy to pay for it under the promise that their fees go to bringing them more. It's when those services suck or do things like censor or mistranslate that people are driven to seek alternatives. Yeah. Well, I mean, everything costs money to operate a website. Especially to get the media, too, if you're, like, some sort of media distribution site.
Alright, what's going on?
Let's do this one.
Consistently been tuning into my videos regarding drag For those of you who've consistently been tuning into my videos regarding Dragon Age the Veilguard over the last number of months, you've probably noticed that oftentimes after we talk about the main topic of the news itself for that specific video, I then enjoy hopping over to the Dragon Age Veilguard subreddit and taking a look at the immense cope that's been going on there also for a number of months. Now, more recently, specifically over the last number of days, there's been something very interesting occurring over on that subreddit, and that is the censorship that's been so prevalent there seems to be occurring less. Because it used to be that if you were critiquing Veilguard or posting anything negative about the game there, oftentimes that post would get removed by the moderators, and or you would just be massively downvoted onto the bottom of the post where no one's really going to see your comment anyways. However, things have been changing. It
Loki
seems like the
can
mods
just
are now
turn
removing
into
far
another
less
person's
posts, like a
alt.
significant amount less. And I think there's two main reasons
Dude,
for
that-
this. One being that there's just so
Dude,
many
that
people now
ability
coming to that
seems so
subreddit to
fucking
laugh at all the
OP.
cope
Like, what the fuck? You become, like, invulnerable this whole time. Like, what the fuck?
posts and
Sorry,
the Veilguard
I'm like,
shills.
I got
One being
distracted.
that there's just so many people now coming to that subreddit to laugh at all the cope posts and the Veilguard shills that the mods have kind of like given up trying to censor all of them. And
Yeah, I
two,
mean,
because
yeah,
it's now well known in games
you're fighting a
circles how much of
losing
failure
battle,
this game
man.
is. Their effort
You can't. If you're fighting a losing battle, if you only have three, say you only have 3 moderators, and then you have 10 people constantly posting just memes upon memes. Oh, you're fucked, dude. Now amplify that like 100-fold, because you're dealing with thousands of people like viewing the sites. Like, oh fuck, man, and you only have like what, like 10 mods that can even do like have any privileges on fucking like censoring posts. Yeah, good luck. Have fun.
efforts to like cover for this game and control their own narrative have failed so much that the mods have kinda given up. With that context, we're going to take a look at a number of amusing posts from the Veilguard subreddit recently, starting with one that actually calls out the number of Veilguard shills who constantly whine about people who dislike the game, to which they even got a response from a moderator, which is really interesting because previously this sort of post that calls out the Veilguard shills would absolutely have been one that got censored, but now the mods are suddenly attempting to seem more reasonable and acting as if they've been reasonable this entire time. And then after that, we'll take a look at a number of hilarious posts from the modern audience Veilguard shills, who are so enraged by gamers for not supporting Veilguard. The very types of posts that get called out in the first one that we're about to read, so let's get started. Dear mods, every time I visit Reddit, a new post targeting people who dislike
Now
Veilguard
see,
is at the top of
that's your first error right there. You went to Reddit.
my home feed, and it's really starting to kill the vibe. Please shut this stuff down. I don't come to these communities for complaining. I come for mutual appreciation.
Oh, see, that's your second. That's your second problem. You come here for mutual appreciation. That's not how it works on Reddit. You get a mixed bag of everything.
Response reading, I understand your concern, and I also don't want negativity and drama to be the main theme of the subreddit. If you notice closely, we are far better than other Dragon Age and BioWare related subreddits. We want to minimize bigotry, but also want valid criticism. We need a perfect...
Reddit is a walking right? It's a contradiction. The whole site's a goddamn contradiction. You literally have a lot of people saying some horrendous shit sometimes. You got people fucking posting porn and shit on there sometimes, right? Some pretty racy images, you know. Right? It's just like Twitter in a sense.
balance, and we're working on it. If a user's job is only to hate and spread
It's
negativity,
just segregated
then you should
into
report and log-mail us. Thanks.
topics.
So this is hilarious because, as I mentioned, over the last few days, things have finally started to change on the Veilguard subreddit, where actual
categories
posts are being
for
left
people
up.
to talk
But before
about
that,
stuff.
they would constantly get deleted or mass downvoted. The only amount of posts you would find on the Veilguard subreddit are like the other person
Porn-brained?
posts that complain about people who dislike the game.
Porn-brained?
And or posts that are essentially like, oh, look at my rook. And
What
or,
the
look
fuck?
at these two characters kissing each other. Yeah, it's basically all the Veilguard subreddit has been. So now the mods essentially get called out for removing posts that criticize the game while leaving up posts that complain about people who criticize the game, and they suddenly act like they haven't really been doing that, and even claim that they're better than the Dragon Age and BioWare related subreddits, which is just absurd because those subreddits actually allow people to criticize Veilguard, while this whole time up until the last number of days as mentioned, the Veilguard subreddit hasn't allowed that. Plus, as you probably already know, their use of bigotry really just means you're not allowed to criticize Tosh. Now we'll take a look at the modern audience raging, going insane, starting with this post. Chuds ruined BioWare. Hope you jerks... My gosh, bro. So whiny. Hope you jerks are happy for ruining the careers of many employees. If you don't like it, all you had to do was ignore it and let the ones who do enjoy it. But you had to review bomb and hate critic the game. And now BioWare is on its last legs. Y'all must feel so proud and are edging to Asmongold videos in celebration of EA gutting BioWare. Who thinks like this? Once again, I hope this is one of those like very obvious bait posts you would find on a Steam discussion forum. But at the same time, I did cover an obvious troll the other day on the Veilguard subreddit, and this account actually doesn't show the same signs of being an obvious troll that the one from the other day did. And considering how many people unironically do make takes like this on the Veilguard subreddit and have been doing such for months, like, oh, the chuds are just hate brigading this game, review bombing, blah blah blah, it's actually a fantastic game. Who the heck even knows anymore, but pretty hilarious. A few of the top comments here, as you can see, praise Veilguard, saying things like, I actually love the game. I don't understand the hate. Further down in the comments, however, rather interesting discourse reads, you guys have to make up your mind. Are the chuds a tiny powerless minority that needs to be ignored? Or a group so large and influential, they can decide the fate of games?
Dude, Reddit is cooked.
Response they got reading, Schrodinger's chud.
Why do I feel like
Powerless
Reddit
and
is
almighty
just
at the same
a
time,
bunch
as
of
long as it's
edgy
not
idiots?
observed. This is also something that we've discussed plenty of times on this channel. This
Every time I
hilarious
read some of
contradiction
these
in their
comments,
rhetoric,
it's like, dude, what
just
am
as these
I
people
reading?
said, when the modern audience types are like, oh, the chuds don't matter, they're just an angry vocal minority. But then at the same time, when some massive AAA studio goes through
I feel like
layoffs or
Reddit
fails
has like
entirely,
a
then they
wide
turn around and say, oh,
range
the
of
chuds did this, which is their attempt at trying to
like a
insult
wide
the people
age
that
group.
they hate, which only fails spectacularly.
It's like, I
because
don't
when they
know,
say
maybe
that the
like
people they hate have
15 to
taken down
fucking
massively corrupt
goddamn
corporations in AAA
60-year-olds
space,
fucking
they're just making the
talking
people
shit
they
all
hate
the
sound
time.
based. That takes us to the next post here, where this Veilguard shill like completely lost it. Says, I almost feel bad for the people hating on the game. How pitiful are their real lives if trashing on a game is how they spend their time. So at some point, this person.
I
made
mean,
a
I
number
didn't
of
even
edits
play
to
the
their
game, but
post, which we can
I'll
see
trash
reflected
it.
right at the start here that reads ETA, and that basically
It's
means
garbage.
edit. So ETA. Someone pointed out that this post is hypothetical, and I agree. Yeah, so when they say hypothetical, I think they mean hypocritical.
Yeah.
Continuing. It was posted after seeing a few too many, this game is garbage. Type replies to positive posts and comments and a bad day. I'm not excusing myself, but I think we have all done things out of frustration. I'm not going to bother replying anymore, and will just block people who don't understand the difference between opinion
Yeah, I
and facts.
punch shit when I get frustrated.
Not deleting the post as I feel it's wrong to try and pretend I don't.
Honestly, I want to get a punching bag.
I'm just so tired of seeing the hate.
Or
This sub
actually
is
one of
dedicated
those,
to the game. If you don't like the game, just walk away. And apparently this is hard for people.
Exercise
you
dummies.
Enjoy and what? Do
Fucking
something you
so I
enjoy.
can toss
be
that
positive
motherfucker
about.
around.
Do something you can enjoy. Bro, this person is like completely gone upstairs. The game's been out for about 3 months.
Beat the shit out
Leave
of an
the subs to
exercise
people who
dummy.
want to share their positive experiences. I'm not saying your opinion isn't valid, but find someplace better to share it. This doesn't include genuine conversations about why someone likes or dislikes aspects. It's the general statements acting like their opinions are facts. Can we send Manfred or Son after the haters for snacks? I feel like that'd be funny to watch. What the unhinged Redditor did I just read? Bro really needs to take some time off the internet and time off shilling for Veilguard, because that's just some crazy talk. They got a response that's also really funny that reads, I've found this to be true for most culture war stuff. It's people that hate their lives, looking for things to be mad and miserable over, and trying to get others to be mad and miserable with them. Now it's happening with the Vowed. At a certain point, you gotta wonder if some of these people just don't like gaming anymore and can't handle it. So this is another reoccurring terrible point these people use in their rhetoric.
This person
they say,
okay?
like, if you criticize these games, you just hate gaming in general.
What is
or
that
you just,
fucking
like, hate
avatar?
Your life, you hate everything. And it's like, bro, we're having a great time laughing at AAA slop. And just because we spend some of our time doing that doesn't mean that there's not plenty of
I'm
other
just
games
having
that we
fun.
do
I don't
enjoy.
know.
We're laughing at the
Why
bad ones
is
and
there
enjoying the good
fun
ones.
police,
Pretty
huh?
simple
Get the
concept,
fuck
but
outta
one
here.
that these people can't understand. Lastly, we'll take a look
If
at
you're the
this
fun
post that
police.
reads, hate is pointless. So what
I'm
I've
the
come
hunter.
to realize with this subreddit is
I'll put a fucking
not to
bullet
be
in your
afraid
bitch
to
ass
report
if you try to
people and
fucking
block
ruin
them
my
for
fun.
unnecessary hating on this game, or any game for that matter. I'm so over the controversy that people started with this game, and this page is by far the worst. I'm still fairly new to Reddit, only about 135 days in,
Hate
and
is
I'm still learning
pointless?
new features
No,
and what
chaos.
things do. But what
Everything
I do
is
know is I
chaos.
don't have to sit here and be hated on for every post I make about Dragon Age Veilguard. You will be blocked
Life
and
is
reported.
chaos.
I've already talked
Love
to the
is
moderators regarding
chaos.
this. Could this person sound any more whiny? Imagine actually typing that out unironically. You would have to be such a... I don't even want to be rude, but like, you got to be a special sort of person to type that out, make that post. It actually gives me a major callback to the Vic situation when that certain voice actress was threatening to report people on Twitter to Homeland Security because they didn't believe her story. Same like whiny energy right there. It's also
Yeah, the
important
whole
to remember,
Kick
like
Vic
I said
situation
earlier,
was so
that up
fucking
until
stupid.
very recently, that being specifically like the last number of days, criticism on Veilguard was getting heavily censored, and that's only recently started changing, and these people are freaking out over it. Anyways, I had fun going over those posts with you guys. Hope you enjoyed it too. If you did enjoy the coverage, please consider liking and or subscribing. See you in the comments and in the next one.
Jogo Deboja made a comic which perfectly encapsulates this. A censor-loving feminist activist cheers that Wonder Woman is more clothed at a bookstore next to an actual fan. The fan asks her if she is finally going to buy a comic, and the activist laughs at the idea, tosses aside the comic, and calls it childish trash or something along those lines. Jesus. Alright, there we go. You're high.